Your body knew before your mind processed a single word. Something wrong pulsed in the air, but you couldn't prove it. All the words were right. The facial expression seemed normal. The tone of voice sounded confident. But something inside you screamed, "Don't trust." And you ignored it. Called it paranoia, insecurity, being too judgmental. Weeks later, months later, the truth appeared. And you thought, "I knew it. My body knew all along." Here's what nobody tells you. You don't need psychic ability to detect lies. Don't need to see colored auras or have a special sixth sense. Your body already does this automatically, constantly, without you asking permission. Because every person transmits a unique energetic signature, an electromagnetic field that reveals the truth behind the social mask. And this signature cannot be faked. You can control words, expressions, tone of voice. Can train every micro-expression, every gesture, every calculated pause. But you can't control the frequency your energetic field transmits, because it comes directly from your real internal state, not from what you want to project. When there's a difference between what someone says and what they really feel, your body detects it. Mirror neurons catch the dissonance. Nervous system sounds the alert. And that something's off feeling emerges that you can't explain. Until now. Because in this video, you're going to learn the 7 specific energetic signals your body is detecting when someone isn't authentic. Signals impossible to fake. Concrete patterns of dissonance that happen every time social mask and internal truth aren't aligned. And more importantly, you're going to learn the difference between discernment and judgment, between protecting your energy and using this perception as a weapon. Because recognizing these signals isn't about feeling superior or seeing falseness everywhere. It's about honoring your body's intelligence, trusting the protection system you already have. It's about making conscious choices about who you share your energy with. Your body always knew how to read the truth. Now, your mind is going to understand why. Before we talk about the 7 specific signals, you need to understand what's really happening when you feel someone is lying. It's not about having a special sixth sense. It's not about being psychic or seeing colored auras floating around people. It's much simpler and much more scientific than that. Every person carries a unique energetic signature. Think of it like a fingerprint, but instead of lines on your fingertips, it's an electromagnetic field around your entire body. And here's what changes everything. This field cannot be faked. Your heart generates the strongest electromagnetic field in the human body, 5,000 times more powerful than your brain's. This field extends up to 3 meters around you. The HeartMath Institute spent over 30 years researching this. Thousands of studies, measurable data, replicable results. And the data is clear. Your heart constantly transmits energetic information, like a biological antenna that never shuts off. When you're near someone, the fields touch. Your hearts literally talk before words leave the mouth. There's an information exchange happening at an electromagnetic level that your conscious mind doesn't even notice, but your body notices. Your organism detects the other person's frequency in milliseconds. Long before the conscious mind processes anything, your nervous system has already scanned, analyzed, and decided whether that person is safe or not. Now the crucial part, this field responds to your real internal state, not to what you want to project. You can control your words, can force a smile, can even train facial micro-expressions if you want, can study body language, strategic pauses, persuasive tone of voice. But you can't control the signature your energetic field transmits, because it comes directly from the autonomic nervous system. Autonomic nervous system doesn't lie. It responds to what you really feel, not what you pretend to feel. It's like trying to control heartbeats or pupil dilation. You can try, but in the end, biology always beats conscious intention. When someone is lying or hiding something, the body enters a subtle stress state. Sympathetic nervous system activates. Heart rate changes even if imperceptibly. Cortisol rises. Breathing alters rhythm. Microtensions appear in muscles. And the energetic field begins transmitting dissonance. An inconsistency between what the person says and what they really feel. Like static on a radio transmission. Technically, the words are there, but there's interference, noise. Something doesn't sound clean. And it's exactly this dissonance you pick up on. Ever had that something's off feeling even when everything seems normal on the surface? Conversation flowing, person smiling, everything apparently perfect. But there's an unexplainable discomfort. That's your body reading the other person's energetic field and detecting incoherence. Mirror neurons in your brain catch patterns in others' behavior and replicate them internally. You literally feel in your body what's happening in the other person's body. That's why sometimes you leave a conversation exhausted without understanding why, or feel a knot in your stomach around certain people, or have that gut feeling screaming at you not to trust, but you ignore it because there's no concrete proof. The proof is in your body. Your nervous system is constantly scanning energetic fields around, looking for coherence or lack of it, evaluating safety, compatibility, authenticity. It's a primitive survival mechanism. Your ancestors needed to know quickly who was ally and who was threat, long before language existed. So we developed this ability to read energy as a protection tool. And you still have it. Works perfectly, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The difference is that now you live in a society where everyone learned to wear social masks. We all learned to fake expressions, control tone of voice, hide real emotions. Learned that authenticity is vulnerability and vulnerability is danger. So we built personas, edited versions of ourselves that we present to the world. But nobody can fake the energetic signature, because it's transmitted by bodily systems outside conscious control. Electromagnetic field doesn't obey your will. It obeys your real internal state. So when there's a difference between what the person consciously projects and what they feel internally, your body detects it. And this detection doesn't come as logical thought, doesn't appear as rational analysis or mental deduction, comes as physical sensation, as unexplainable discomfort, as that something's wrong that you can't name. Until now, because in the next few minutes you're going to learn exactly what the 7 specific signals are that your body is picking up when someone isn't authentic. Now let's get to the specific signals your body detects when someone isn't being authentic. These aren't abstract. They're concrete patterns of energetic dissonance that happen every time there's a difference between social mask and internal truth. Let's begin. Signal number 1. Misalignment between voice and energy. Ever talk to someone who said all the right words but something felt empty? Like the words had no weight? Like they floated without real substance behind them? That's voice energy misalignment. The person is talking, but vocal frequency doesn't match emotional frequency. Words come from the mind, but energy comes from the heart. When the two aren't synchronized, there's a dissonance your body catches instantly. A practical example. Someone asks how you are, you answer, "I'm fine." But the person senses sadness emanating from you. They can't explain it, but something doesn't add up. Your words say one thing, your energetic field transmits something completely different. The opposite also happens. Someone tells you, "I love you," or "I'm happy for you," but a sensation of coldness emerges, or even envy. The words sound hollow because they don't carry the corresponding emotional frequency. It's like hearing music without melody, just mechanical notes without soul. Perfect technique, flawless execution, but zero real emotion. Your body detects this incoherence because it's expecting voice and energy to arrive together, like a complete package. When they arrive separately, nervous system sounds red alert. It's not paranoia, it's detection of inauthenticity in real time. Signal number 2. Cold spots in manipulated fields. This one's more subtle, but when you learn to recognize it, you see it everywhere. A cold spot is a cold area in someone's energetic field, a place where energy should be flowing but is blocked or hidden. Imagine a conversation that's going well, flowing naturally, but suddenly a hole emerges. It's not that the person stopped talking, it's that something energetically disappeared. Like a part of them retracted while the rest continues present. The sensation is of talking to half the person, not their whole self. This happens when someone is consciously hiding something. Could be an emotion they don't want to reveal, information they're omitting, a hidden intention. When you consciously manipulate energy, trying to hide a part of yourself, you create a gap in the field. Energy doesn't flow naturally because you're holding, blocking, controlling. And this blockage is felt by others as absence, as something missing. Concrete situation. You're in a business meeting and the person seems confident, articulate, professional. Flawless presentation, solid data, persuasive arguments. But something's missing. Can't put your finger on it, but you have the sensation you're not getting the complete story. 6 months later, you discover they were omitting critical information about project risks. Your body knew, detected the cold spot where there should have been transparency, but there was concealment. Signal number 3, overperformance or forced energy. This is the opposite of cold spot. Instead of lack of energy, there's excess of it. But it's not natural excess, it's compensatory excess. When someone doesn't feel authentic internally, sometimes they project too much energy to compensate. It's like shouting to prove you're confident when you're actually insecure. You notice theatricality, exaggerated performance, enthusiasm that exhausts instead of energizes. Interacting with this person leaves you drained because you're processing two frequencies simultaneously: the external performance and the internal truth. Your body has to work double to make sense of the dissonance. Think of a person who's constantly on, always animated, always positive, always in performance mode. But you leave their presence drained. It's not because they're too vibrant. It's because the vibration is forced, not genuine. It's coming from mental effort to maintain an image, not from natural state of being. Authentic energy energizes. Forced energy exhausts. The difference is in the origin, heart versus mind. When energy comes from the heart, there's natural expansion. When it comes from the mind trying to control how it's perceived, contraction disguised as expansion emerges. Another example. Someone gives you an effusive compliment, full of superlatives, but discomfort appears. The compliment seems too big, too performative. Your body detects that behind the performance is insecurity or even manipulation. Person is using excess energy to cover up lack of real sincerity. Energetic overperformance is one of the most common signals in corporate environments and social media. People projecting confidence, success, happiness at levels so high, they become unreal. And you catch the fake because intensity doesn't match substance. It's noise without music. Movement without direction, performance without presence. These first 3 signals already give you a clear map. Voice energy misalignment, empty words, cold spots, something missing where there should be flow. Overperformance, excess compensating for lack of authenticity. And there are 4 more equally revealing signals we're going to explore now. Quick pause. Ever felt any of these signals? That something's wrong you can't explain? Comment here. Which of these first 3 signals do you recognize most? Voice energy misalignment, when words sound empty? Cold spots, that sensation of something missing in the conversation? Or overperformance, when the person seems too performative and leaves you exhausted? I want to know which one's most common for you. And if you've already ignored these signals and later discovered you should have trusted your intuition, share that too. Let's validate these experiences together. Because you weren't imagining things. Your body was reading the truth. Now let's get to the next 4 signals, and these are even more revealing. Signal number 4, emotional leakage or energetic micro-expressions. You mention someone's name in casual conversation and suddenly catch a flash of anger coming from the person in front of you. Lasted less than half a second, but it was there, unmistakable. And then they smile and respond with neutral voice. Oh yeah, I know them. What just happened? Emotional leakage. The real emotion leaked before they could control the facial expression. It's like an energetic flash that precedes the verbal response. Paul Ekman researched facial micro-expressions for decades, discovered that genuine emotions appear on the face before the person has time to mask them. We're talking half a second or less. But energetic leakage happens even faster than that. Energetic field transmits the real emotion milliseconds before the physical body reacts. Imagine asking someone something delicate. There's a flash of fear emanating from them before they smile and respond calmly. Their nervous system reacted to the question with stress. Energetic field transmitted the truth. And only then did the conscious mind manage to control the expression and respond in a socially acceptable way. Your body detected the real emotional leakage before the social mask was put on. This doesn't necessarily mean the person is fake. Could just mean they're choosing not to share what they really feel, which is their right. But the signal gives you valuable information. There's more happening internally than is being externally communicated. Signal number 5. Deflection patterns or deviation patterns. Why do some conversations seem to go nowhere? You ask a direct question, get a tangential answer. Try to get back to the point, person changes the subject. After 10 minutes, you realize you're chasing something that keeps escaping. That's deflection pattern. How energy moves during interaction reveals everything. When someone is authentic, energy flows directly. Ask question, get answer. There's a real energetic meeting. Connection happens, information is exchanged, mutual understanding emerges. But when someone is avoiding, hiding, or manipulating, energy doesn't meet. It deflects. It's like throwing a ball at the wall and it ricocheting in a completely unexpected direction. Conversations go in infinite circles. It's not just verbal evasion, it's energetic evasion. The person's field creates a deflective barrier, preventing your energy from reaching where you want to go, the truth. Practical example. You ask someone, "How are you feeling about this?" The person responds talking about what other people think, or about external facts, or about anything except their real feeling. Energetically, you sent a straight line, but they returned a curve. After 5 minutes of conversation, you notice you got nowhere. It's not because the person is dumb or didn't understand. It's because energetically they're creating a deflective shield to not allow access to what's real. This leaves you confused, frustrated, exhausted, because your nervous system is trying to establish genuine connection, but keeps being blocked and redirected. Signal number 6. Energy lag or delay between action and field. Think of a hug. Not just any hug, but one where something seems wrong. Person hugs you physically, arms around, body close, but an emptiness emerges, or it takes a second or two to feel real human warmth, like the body arrived before the energy. There's a lag, a delay between physical movement and energetic presence. This is one of the most revealing signals. Physical action happens, but energetic field takes time to follow. This happens because the action came from the mind, not the heart. Person mentally decided they should hug, so they execute the movement mechanically. But heart isn't synchronized with the action. Energetic field doesn't follow mental command instantly. So you receive hug in 2 stages. First the body, then the energy. Or sometimes just the body. Energy never arrives. Another example, someone tells you, "I love you," but there's a delay. Words arrive first, corresponding emotional frequency arrives later, or doesn't arrive. Like watching video with desynchronized audio. Technically everything's there, but timing is wrong, so it seems fake. When action comes from authentic place, movement and energy are simultaneous. Warm hug envelops you instantly, no temporal gap. "I love you" carries love frequency at the exact moment it's said. There's no lag because heart and action are in coherence. Energy lag is clear signal that person is operating from mind, not heart. Executing social script instead of responding genuinely. Signal number 7. Spiritual gaslighting or spiritual language with low energy. This one's particularly dangerous because it uses elevated vocabulary to mask manipulative intention. Person talks about love, light, gratitude, manifestation, positive energy. All the right words. Impeccable spiritual vocabulary, but you catch control, domination, superiority, judgment. Extreme dissonance between discourse and real energetic transmission. Example, someone says, "I'm sending you love and light," but condescension emerges, or even veiled passive aggression, or "You need to raise your vibration," said in a way that makes you feel inferior, not inspired. Spiritual language being used as weapon, not connection. This is especially common in spiritual communities where everyone learned the right vocabulary. People use terms like alignment, frequency, manifestation, gratitude, mechanically. But energy behind the words tells a completely different story. You hear "I'm in high vibration" but detect arrogance. Hear "I see you in the light" but catch veiled contempt. Hear "I'm manifesting abundance" but notice envy of others' abundance. Spiritual words don't make someone spiritual. And your body knows the difference between spiritual language and genuinely elevated energy. When someone really operates from elevated place, there's expansion, not contraction. Safety, not control. Equality, not hierarchy. Spiritual gaslighting uses vocabulary of light to exercise shadow, and the more spiritual the vocabulary, the greater the dissonance when transmitted energy doesn't match. These are the 7 signals. Voice energy misalignment, cold spots, overperformance, emotional leakage, deflection patterns, energy lag, spiritual gaslighting. Now that you know how to identify them, the crucial question is, what to do with this information? Because recognizing signals is only half the equation. The other half is knowing when to trust what you're feeling and when to question. Now you have 7 concrete signals your body uses to detect inauthenticity. But there's a dangerous line between using this information as protection and using it as a weapon. The difference is called discernment versus judgment. And understanding this difference is what separates energetic intelligence from toxic paranoia. Judgment is moral, it's fixed, operates in categories of right and wrong, good and bad, true and false. When you judge, you put the person in a box and lock it. This person is fake. This person is manipulative. This person is no good. Judgment closes doors, creates rigid, insurmountable separation, elevates you above the person you're judging. Discernment is different. Discernment is energetic. It's fluid, adaptable, contextual, operates in terms of compatibility, safety, alignment. When you discern, you recognize patterns without transforming them into the person's fixed identity. This person's energy isn't aligned with mine right now. This interaction doesn't make me feel safe. There's dissonance here I prefer not to navigate now. Discernment maintains compassion, recognizes that person might be operating from survival mechanism, not malice. Understands that we all fake sometimes because society taught us authenticity is dangerous. The question isn't, is this person bad? But rather, does this dynamic serve my well-being? Let's talk about when to trust your feeling. First, when sensation is somatic, not mental. There's huge difference between obsessive thinking about someone and bodily response to that person's presence. If you're lying in bed at 3 in the morning creating stories about why so-and-so said that, that's mind. Mental rumination, created narratives, excessive analysis. If you're in front of the person and chest tightness emerges, nausea, or sudden exhaustion, that's body. Body doesn't invent. Body responds to what it's receiving energetically in real time. Mind invents, projects, assumes, creates elaborate narratives. So when deciding whether to trust what you're feeling, ask, is this coming from my body or my head? Second, when pattern repeats. Isolated event could be misinterpretation, projection, other person's bad day. But when you catch the same signals repeatedly with the same person, pattern is establishing itself. 3 interactions where you leave exhausted isn't coincidence. 5 conversations where you detect cold spots isn't imagination. Repetitive pattern is reliable, statistically significant data. Third, when you feel drained, not just uncomfortable, discomfort can be growth. Could be you being challenged to leave comfort zone, to look at something you avoid. Discomfort is sometimes invitation to expansion. But drainage is different. Drainage is your nervous system in overload trying to process constant dissonance. If after interacting with someone you need hours to recover, your body is telling you something. It's signaling fundamental energetic incompatibility. Now, when to doubt your feeling? First, when you're projecting your own fears. If you have abandonment fear and interpret any emotional distance as rejection, you might be projecting. If you have betrayal wound and see manipulation where there's just communication failure, you might be projecting. Projection happens when your unprocessed past contaminates present perception. How to know the difference? Ask, is what I'm feeling about this person or about my history? Second, when you're in unprocessed trigger, emotional trigger completely distorts energetic perception. When you're activated, nervous system is in total defense mode. In that state, you might interpret neutrality as hostility or hesitation as manipulation. If you just came out of traumatic situation and are hyper-vigilant, every interaction will seem threatening. That's your nervous system protecting you, but not necessarily reading the person in front of you accurately. Third, when moral judgment is contaminating energetic perception. If you've already decided person is bad for moral reasons, you'll look for energetic confirmation. Confirmation bias works energetically too. You'll feel what you expect to feel, not necessarily what's there. This doesn't completely invalidate your perception, but asks for pause and honest self-reflection. Now, the ethical part nobody talks about. Energetic discernment is not a weapon. Don't use it to attack, humiliate, or destroy someone's reputation. I felt bad energy from them isn't license to defame. Isn't justification for smear campaign or social exclusion. Used to protect, not to punish. Used to choose who to relate with, not to judge who you didn't choose. And remember, person who's faking might be in survival mode, might be so wounded that authenticity seems too dangerous, might be operating from patterns learned in childhood where being real meant being rejected, punished, abandoned. This doesn't mean you need to accept the dynamic. You can discern it's not healthy for you without condemning the person as human failure. Compassion doesn't require you to remain in situation that harms you, but it requires you to recognize the other person's humanity while choosing your own well-being. Discernment with compassion sounds like this. I see you're operating from wounded place and I have empathy for that, but I can't be in this energetic field without harming myself. Judgment without compassion sounds like this. You're fake, manipulative, and I'm better than you for seeing it. Feel the difference? One maintains both people's dignity. The other elevates one at the expense of the other. Your body always knew how to detect energy. Now you have language to name what you always felt. Use this wisely. Use this as protection, as conscious choice tool, as way to honor your nervous system that's constantly guarding you. But don't use as weapon, as way to feel superior or as justification to close your heart. Because in the end, the greatest energetic authenticity you can have is with yourself. And that includes recognizing when you're operating from real discernment and when you're operating from disguised judgment. 7 signals your body detects before your mind processes. Voice energy misalignment, cold spots, overperformance, emotional leakage, deflection patterns, energy lag, spiritual gaslighting. Your intuition wasn't paranoia. It was energetic intelligence operating in real time, protecting you, alerting you, guarding you. And now you have language to name what you always felt. This changes everything, because when you recognize the signals consciously, you no longer need to ignore the discomfort or question your own perception. You trust. You discern. You choose where to put your energy, who to share your field with, which dynamics to feed and which to cut. But remember, discernment is not judgment. It's protection, not attack. It's wisdom, not superiority. Use this to honor your body, not to close your heart. If this video gave name to what you always felt, but never knew how to explain, leave a like. This shows me this content is validating real experiences, and I'll keep bringing more. And subscribe if you want more about real energetic reading, about how your body processes information your mind hasn't seen yet. about somatic intelligence applied to life. Now tell me, have you ever had an experience where you knew something was wrong but everyone told you were imagining it? Share the story in the comments. I want to read, want to validate, because these experiences are real and deserve to be seen. And if you're noticing that operating at high vibration sometimes makes you a target, that evolving spiritually doesn't make life easier but more intense, the next video is for you. Because nobody talks about the dark side of being at elevated frequency, about how spiritual growth can isolate you, about the tests that come when you level up energetically. That video is right here and will change how you see your own journey. Your body always knew. Now you know why.